12 Sports Team presents your Southern Tier Kickoff.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you are a Pennsylvania resident, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY if you are a resident of New York. Please gamble responsibly. Real quick, let's take a look at the standings as we get into our picks. Producer Aaron Smith sitting in first place, 17-9. And if you want his picks, they are up right now on the WBNG website. Not a surprise, the four people sitting at the desk bringing up the last four spots. So let's get right into them. We're going to start Louisville and Notre Dame, a matchup of two ranked teams, 15 and 16. I was back and forth on this all night, but I finally pulled the trigger, and I'm going with Louisville. I'll take the points. I think it's going to be close, so let me get the points instead of giving the points.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Zach. I will take the points as well. My opinion, I just can't trust Notre Dame. When you're losing to MAC teams at home, I will not bet for you in a ranked matchup. Kyle, what about you?
I mean, you say that, but since that Northern Illinois game, Notre Dame has outscored their opponents 94-10 since that loss. So I'm going to say North Carolina comes out. This is a big statement game. Riley Leonard's going to pop off. They cover the spread.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they've been kind of had a chip on the shoulder after losing to Northern Illinois. So I believe they're going to come out here and get this big-time win.
All right. We move on to game number 2, and that's going to be our game of the day here on CBS, USC versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin has shown that they don't really have a lot of offense. We saw that in their matchup against Alabama. Likewise, USC needs to bounce back and win this game. Ever since Lincoln Riley has been there, we have heard that this is insert a coach, insert a quarterback, win a national championship. Well, you got to have some defense as well, and I've yet to see it, so I'm hoping that at this point in time USC can make that. I'll roll with them on this one, but I'm not confident.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zach. USC's defense, to put it bluntly, they look terrible. But their offense does look pretty good. Miller Moss under center, he can get some things done. That offense very much outclasses Wisconsin's offense. I'm going to take USC.
Yeah, I mean, kind of bouncing off of what Kevin Wright said right there. Neither team has been very strong when it comes to defense. So it's going to come down to offense. Who has the better offense? USC, obviously. Miller Moss, Zachariah Branch. They have looked really good on the offensive side of things. It's the defense that they're a bit shaky. But they held Michigan close enough. If they can hold Michigan close enough, Wisconsin's not going to be a big battle for them.
Yeah, I'm going to USC. They've been really dominant at home with that win over LSU. Wisconsin, like we said, really has not been tested just yet. So I'm going to have to go USC in this game.
All right. We move on to a rivalry game on Tobacco Road. North Carolina coming off of a terrible loss against JMU. Duke at home giving 3 points. I mean, Duke is rebuilding as well. They lost, as you had mentioned, Riley Leonard. He's at Notre Dame. Lost their head coach at Texas A&M. So this is a brand new program, but it's been a program that's been on the rise versus North Carolina with Mac Brown, who most of the Tar Heel backers are calling for his head at this point in time. So, I mean, all signs are showing that Duke Blue is on the way up and North Carolina Blue, unfortunately, on the way down. I hate Duke. Go North Carolina. I choose North Carolina.
I am taking Duke here. North Carolina's biggest strength is in the run game with Amari Hampton, but when your defense is giving up 70 points to teams in the Sun Belt, you're not going to be able to use that run game. Duke, solid passing game with Malik Murphy under center. He may be able to get some things going. I'll go with the Blue Devils in this one.
And I mean, this game is just a battle mid. There's not any other way you can put it. These are two teams that are very middle of the road, if not the bottom of their conferences. Giving up 70 points to JMU is just absurd. Yes, JMU had a great year last year. They're a Sun Belt Conference team. You shouldn't be giving up 70 when you're an ACC team. And then Duke, I mean, you lose Riley Leonard, you lose your head coach. They almost lost to UConn, who is year in and year out one of the worst teams in the nation. It's going to be a horrible game, but North Carolina's going to cover the spread on this one.
Kyle, going off that, if you're watching this game, you're a little bit crazy, but overall, I think Duke is winning this ball game. It's not going to be a pretty one. It's going to be pretty ugly, but Duke's going to come out.
I was told that was a bold statement by my producer. I don't hate Duke. I just strongly dislike Duke and would like to see UNC win the game. All right, real quick, the two big games of the game, we're going to get through them real quick. Ohio State, Michigan State. Ohio State, one of the best teams in the program. They're going to be one of the 4 teams that gets the bye, I think, and they're just going to continue rolling. I know Michigan State has looked good, but no, this is going to be a statement game. I like Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State is built to get up early and keep that lead with the running game that they have. 2 superstar running backs under center. Once they find that lead, they should have no problem controlling the pace, covering that spread. Let's go with Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Ohio State as well. Michigan State hasn't been what they could be since Kenneth Walker left. And, I mean, Quinshon Judkins, best running back in the league, Trevion Henderson backing him up. The run game's going to be too much to handle. Ohio State's going to cover it.
Yeah, it's a lot of points, but MSU's 1-3 against the spread this season, so I have to go with Ohio State also.
All right, and we got about 90 seconds here before we are done with the day, so we are going to talk about the biggest game that there is. Number 2, Georgia. Number 4, Alabama. A rematch of last year's SEC championship game. A rematch of the year before that SEC championship game. Go Dogs. I mean, they have been circling this game since they lost last year because they probably were the best team in the country last year and didn't make the Final Four. They are ready for this game, and I know Alabama wants to make a statement, especially at home, and they're not often an underdog at home. Georgia's going to roll. Georgia's going to win big. Georgia is going to roll.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this could be Kalen DeBoer's head coaching debut for all I care. Alabama has had a few games, nothing on this level. SEC play, playing against one of the best teams in the nation. Carson Beck, I like him better than Jalen Milroe. Let's take the Dogs.
And then, yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, bouncing off of that, Zach, 2007 was the last time Bama was an underdog at home. And since then, they are 59-2 at home. But I think the Dogs are too good of a team. They're coming in 45-2 in the last 4 years, only 2 losses against Bama. But it's not going to be that this time around. Go Dogs.
Who do you like, real quick?
I'm glad we all have common sense, but I'm going with Georgia.
All right, if you want the rest of our picks, you want to see what Michael or Aaron or Connor picked, head on to the WBNG website. If not, thank you again for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have a happy kickoff.